Hey folks, the Desert Artist here. I wanted to show you kind of where I was at on my sewing machine sculpture. I've got some things that are kind of put together, but I don't know exactly what to do with them. I've got a couple options, and well, I'm kind of just thinking about what they are. Let me show you what I've got and how it puts together. Right here I've got this little guy here that's a little crazy looking old guy with fuzzy eyebrows and a bald head, and well, I don't know what to do with this piece either. I might leave it in there as part of the originality of it, and I don't know whether I should clean this up or whether I should just leave it kind of naturally dirty and nasty to show that I haven't really done much. But anyway, let me show you what I've got here. I've got on this side here, I've got, well, let me show you these pieces here. I've got these pieces that kind of, see how he kind of like dances? Isn't that kind of cool? He's got his little arms here. I don't know whether I'm going to keep those on there or not. And I've got this little piece down here that it all kind of comes apart, and it's got a little swivel on it. See how it slides back and forth, and I don't know whether I want to keep that as like a little wrench with a nut. And then let me see if I can put all my pieces here so you can see it. I've got a bunch of little variables here that I can work on. Now this bolt kind of fits in there pretty kind of tight, but it's got a little slack in it, and it screws right in over here. Oh, it's that one that screws in there, not the other one. So this kind of fits in there. Sorry, I had the wrong bolt there. This kind of fits in there like this and allows for maybe like a shoulder joint or something. Oh, this kind of rotates around there like that. I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I don't know whether I want these to be the arms, considering this is going to be like the chest. So I don't know whether I got his little tie here. I've got another little bow tie up here, and I've got his top hat right here that will go on like that. That way he can be like a dancing guy with a top hat. I still have to figure out an attachment, whether I want his hat to be straight up top where he's looking down, or whether I want his hat to kind of sit back where it shows his eyebrows and stuff. But it will also, if I put the top hat on, it'll cover up the back side of his head, which is, you know, shows his hair and stuff. Because he's a bald guy, and I don't know what to do with that. Another thing I had come up with was there's all kinds of little holes in here that stuff can fit into, and one of them is this right here. This fits in here and rotates like this. It's got a little slack in it, so it's got some play, and this is removable here, so I can replace this and mount it somewhere else. I can always drill a hole in here and mount it that way and tap threads into it. But this piece originally came off of here. It went into the inside like this, like that. I don't know whether I want to keep it there or whether I want to take it out and use it as a mounter for this to provide some sort of a swivel on this here, because it also fits in this hole here. So there's a couple variabilities there. Also, in this thing, it also fits this little cog here. Now this little cog runs the belt between these two here. And here's another kind of cool contraption that I have put together. Some sort of, this can slide out. This looks like a little wrench or something that can hold a bolt, right? So this can slide in between here like that, and then this can pivot around like this. And I don't know whether I want to formulate that into a shoulder joint or something cohesive like that. These are all kind of ideas that I don't know where to go with quite yet. This will fit inside of here, and I think it will also fit not inside there. Okay, I had a piece that fit inside here, but I don't know exactly where it went. It might be this piece down here. So what I had done is I had this piece was in here like this, and well, this went inside, and then this went here. This all comes apart here. So this can fit inside of here. Then I had this in here running this little machine here. Then I had this go inside of here, which kind of, it goes inside there, but then it's kind of slack jawed, not quite as tight as I would like it to be. But I don't know whether what goes in here is actually supposed to fit in there, but it works. And what I was going to do is take this belt here and put this belt over here, and it fits right inside of here. So it's got this little belt kind of that goes along in here, and I was thinking, you know, that's kind of cool to have this as a movable object inside the sculpture. I don't know whether I want to keep that or not, because once again this piece is not really tight within the head here. So I don't know what to do with it. And this piece here, I've got this little cog here turns, it turns the wheel. The more that I turn it, it turns that, which, because those little swirly gears tend to mesh together, and it turns it. So that provides another movement option that I can use. I've got a little motor right here that runs off of a battery, and what I was going to do is I was going to take off the solder and the connections and wire that up and see what kind of voltage it took. I don't know whether it's a 12 volt or a 9 volt, or if it's a variable volt that will turn like the little toy motors that I've got that runs off of a 9 volt battery. They spin about 4,000 RPM. I don't know what this one will spin, but it's got a little belt doohickey drive on the thing. And I was thinking about putting it together with this, because this is a part I took off that VCR that was inside the VCR TV combo. And I took these apart from, these were like mounted inside here. So I took them apart and I screwed them together, and I left that little wire attachment there because it might be kind of cool to hook up somehow, some way. Anyhow, this was, I bolted these together. Eventually they were separate. If I come across another VCR TV combo, I could probably take it apart and use these for little wire wheels on a like a steampunky type car or something. I don't know, but I like the way this turns. It turns nice and easy, and I was wondering if I could hook this motor up to the belt here, because this is like a nylon trim that's around here that would hold a belt. Of course, trying to find one when I'm talking on the camera isn't feasible for some stupid reason. But I thought that would kind of be cool to drive maybe some sort of a motor action on top of this. These can't quite seem to get lined up quite right, because this belt kind of slides off after I turn it about 5 or 10 times. It kind of starts to worm its way off the gear, because like this is kind of sloppy in here and it doesn't quite fit correctly. So if it would fit a little bit more tightly, I could probably get it to work. But as it is right now, it doesn't fit very tight, and it drives up against the neck of this little guy right here. So somehow I have to figure a way to get it to mount nice and tight. I've got a screw point up here where I can drive a screw in and maybe work it to where it's a 3-way belt drive type thing, where I could have a tensioner spring that would be down here that I could turn it and it would turn, and use a gravity weight type tensioner to keep it kind of taut. I don't know yet. I just wanted to give you guys an update on where I was at with the sculpture. All this stuff is tentative. I don't know where it's going to go from here. Anyhow, y'all have a great day. This is the Desert Artist. I'm out of here.